Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gundam. I'm your host Abdurrahman as always, and today we are going to be reviewing another Gundam Base Limited item. It is the 00 Quanta. Now this is the original and the first version of the 00 Quanta. It isn't the full saber and it is the clear version instead of the normal version. Now within this box it is provided by late tag, so there are no runners provided and the models already assembled. So let's head straight to the models, shall we? So after unboxing this specific kit or after assembling it, you will get the 00 Quanta. Now the model looks nice. Now I find the model very flexible. Now a bit too flexible in my opinion due to its sheer movement and capabilities, but that I'll explain later. So within the 00 Quanta's kit, you will have to have the luxury to actually transform the sword into its ginormous buster sword, as you can see here. Now compare this with the RG, it has a much more easier time to actually disassemble and assemble it back. So it took me quite a while due to the fact that some of the parts didn't actually disassemble that well, but that's my fault actually. So overall with the 00 Quanta, you get that much amount of freedom and flexibility when it comes to customizing the sword into the ginormous G and Buster sword. Now overall it's really a simple way for you to form into the G and Buster sword. I find this way much more easier and much more solid than the actual 00 Quanta RG. Now as you can see, you can actually attach this to the stand itself. Now unfortunately the stand isn't that nice. As you can see, it doesn't lock in place. The stand is actually provided for free, so that's a nice thing, but unfortunately it doesn't hold that well. And you can actually just attach every single part of the GN sword to 00 Quanta's shield. As you can see quite clearly, it's pretty easy. You just plop it right in and there's nothing too complicated about it. As you can see, there is a specific section on the side of the shield where you have to actually position some of the parts to properly sink into the specific socket, as you can see, or else it'll just fall off. Now overall the 00 Quanta looks really nice. Now this type of clear is the type of clear that I really like and prefer, because it kind of follows the original color scheme of the 00 Quanta. Now I wish that they would have done the same treatment with the Sinanju, but overall it looks nice. The 00 Quanta is actually from the 00 series. Now it does look like Exia a bit, but with a shield. Now the reason why I do not like the 00 Quanta, because it kind of is similar to the Exia, but in return it actually does follow the design of the Exia. It's just that it has its own shield. Now for the movement capabilities of this specific kit, as you can see, the head can actually turn 360. Now the movement, how can I say this in a way that it is flexible, but it kind of is a bit too flexible to a point that it kind of has a problem of standing on its own. But overall this has by far one of the most flexible MGs that I ever held in any sort of my reviews. The Sinanju is not this flexible to a point that it is this smooth. None of the parts is actually that loose. Now some of the parts did actually come off. Now I find some of the parts of the 00 Quanta, specifically the hands, if you move it that much it's going to fall off that easily. And some of the parts of the leg, as you can see, again the hands have that issue where it kind of falls off quite easily. I think because of the plastic itself, but I'm not that sure. Now due to the fact that the sockets don't really hold the hands that much, so you would find it kind of falling off randomly, or you just move it that much. Now overall the legs are pretty nice. You can do a split quite easily, but then again some of the armor plates on the leg itself can actually pop off that easy and that simple. So overall try to move it as careful as you can. Overall I'm testing as much as I possibly can, cautiously and carefully. Now overall the kit is pretty nice and it's very flexible without a doubt. Now expected from an MG that is pretty old, this kit is by far one of the kits that I feel that it's really flexible, even though no matter how much I shake it, none of the pieces fall off that easily. So that's the movement capabilities, and as well as the access that you have with the GN sword and as well as the GN shield. And now to summarize the entire kit, it is a flexible kit at that, but the problem and issues of this kit again, without a doubt, is the hands. And the hands, I find it a bit worse than the Sinanju, surprisingly. I thought the 00 Quanta would have at least better hands than the Sinanju, but it seems that I'm wrong. It seems that the end of the sword, or I like to say the butt of the sword, actually has a specific spruce that you can actually combine and lock into the arm itself, as you can see in this position. But I find if you want to actually socket it in, it doesn't actually help. So it's basically, for example, like if you try to socket it in that much, it's not going to actually hold. So really, it's a pretty useless feature in my opinion. The RG totally does not have this feature at all to support the gun itself or the sword. And surprisingly, that section of the end of the sword doesn't actually hold that much. Even with the stand that is provided, it's pretty loose, as you noticed from the videos that I actually mentioned earlier. But overall, it is a really good looking kit. I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I do. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. Enjoy the 360 that is coming about right about now, and hope to see you in the next video.